Morning, Adam. As I promised, just thought I'd give you a heads up on how I've installed my booster plug. Since you were asking yesterday, I said I'd help out, so try to keep to my word on things. My bike's already in bits, so you will need to take some parts off to gain access. The main parts you need to take off are the side panels, both sides. There's 4 screws for the main one, and 2 screws at the front for the little plastic one over here, which needs to come off. They come off really easy, no issue at all. Once they're off, unfortunately they have to come off because they attach to the tank, and you need to move the tank, so without taking them off you can't move the tank. But once they're off, there's a bolt which goes through that hole there. Remove that, that's the only thing that's really keeping the fuel tank in place. Take that off so you can move the fuel tank, and then you get access to lift the fuel tank up off the airbox. I've propped mine up with the grout float. It's a bit spongy, so hopefully it won't damage anything. And that should give you enough access once that's propped up to access the air intake temperature sensor, which is on top of the airbox. If I can show you that, it's just there, look. That's obviously the one that's attached to the booster plug, but they're both the same. Push that wire clip in and push it off the top and it comes off no problem. And then I'll pull it all out and show you what it involves really, which is not a lot. So there you go, so that's the original loom which went to the airbox, the air temperature sensor on the airbox. So the booster plug plugs into that. You remove that off the top of the airbox, booster plug plugs into that. You'll probably have a lot more success in doing this. So I'm working with my left hand. I've only got the one hand because I'm holding the iPhone in the other. So yeah, booster plug into that one. And then this just goes onto the connector on the airbox, the other side of the booster plug. That plug there just clips on, which again, that's on now. If I can do that with my left hand, you should be able to do that with both hands quite easy. And then the probe, I've just run the wire for the probe around the left hand side of the tank, underneath the tank, and secured it in place at the front, in front of the front suspension strut with a tie wrap there, the cable tie. If this camera will focus. I don't think that is in focus, but I think you get the idea. It's just sort of loosely in place there. It's not binding on anything, it's not in the way of anything. It's not quite in direct airflow, it's behind the headlamp, so I'm sure you can find other places to put it if you wanted to, but it's worked for me. And that's all there is to it. Obviously you've got to just reassemble the bike afterwards, but from start to end you should be able to do that in about 20 minutes, I reckon. Only other thing to watch out for is when you do lift the tank up, you don't get very far before it starts to butt up against the steering yoke, but there. So just watch you keep a gap there and don't damage the tank or the paint on the tank. And it might help to remove this plastic guard off the front of the tank. That might give you a bit more access. But yeah, that's all there is to it. Hope that helps. If you've got any more questions, or if something isn't clear, just let me know and I'll do my best to answer your questions for you. Hope this helps you, and best of luck with it. Cheerio.